Welcome to a new daily top Askreddit video. Today's topic: what does everyone think about that r/antiwork Fox News interview? It is one of those classic Reddit moments that will be posted again and again. And to think all it took was one shitty interview to taint an entire movement. That's how it always is. Now the subreddit is private and apparently even people who have been members for months aren't members anymore. Fox got what it came for. That mod is a stereotype. Couldn't have asked for a better representation of a Reddit mod even if you tried. Maybe we need to start asking ourselves, are mods like politicians? Maybe the people who want the job are exactly the people who shouldn't have it. That subreddit is tanking hard right now. They've been a subreddit for nearly a decade and in the last year they really gained some steam. Hundreds of thousands of users regularly participated because they want something to change with their jobs. That interview and the subsequent banning of anyone talking about it on their subreddit has absolutely killed that momentum. I'm all for work reform and fair wages, but going on a conservative network and talking about how you already only work 20 hours a week and want to work less while not being articulate in what you actually want to achieve just soured millions of people on your cause. Then they started banning users that disliked that the interview happened. Which, for a subreddit that constantly posts about hating authoritarian managers, is pretty ironic. The subreddit started taking a turn when it was suddenly flooded with obviously fake conversations people had with their bosses. It was approaching r/tofu levels of bad fiction. I walked up to my boss and told him to lick my nuts. He just stood there in awe as everyone clapped. As I strut my way out of the office, Brenda from accounting said she heard the whole thing and immediately started sucking my dick to completion. Like bro, get over yourself. Fight for better work conditions /pay and stand up for yourself, but don't lie to us about how you did it. That's why I stopped reading. The posts of people texting their bosses back was like the stories I used to read on the tofu subreddit, which were equally ridiculously fake. Fox didn't need to attack or argue. They found a human meme. The person didn't even make their bed to be seen on national TV. The jokes wrote themselves. Pretty sure the interviewer was trying multiple times to not laugh. What a genuinely disastrous interview. A chuckle slipped out after the mod said they wanted to teach philosophy. The producers are geniuses. They knew they had a jackpot. The glint to the host's eyes as he started asked personal questions. Dude, I think they just threw everyone out and made it private. Edit, apparently everyone from antiwork is going to r/work reform now to regroup. Edit 2, some people have raised their concerns about work reform potentially being sues because apparently some of the mods work or worked in banking. I don't think that is necessarily a bad thing. Might be in the long run, but who knows. I think we need to keep a close eye on whatever subreddit we migrate to and stick together in a structured, pragmatic way. One of the fastest growing subs and now it's closed because of that stupid mod. That's insane. How the other mods haven't thrown that moron out by now is beyond me. One egotistical mod over 1.7 million subscribers. Yeah, mod went on a ban spree, the subreddit mutinied, and here we are. I saw some beautiful conversations with the mods before all was lost. You're banning everyone that says something critical of you won't last forever. We will see. Guess we did see, ha ha ha. No way really. Yup. Private now with 0 members. This interview literally killed the sub. That mod completely destroyed that subreddit. It honestly really impressive. It's fascinating from an internet sociology outlook. One person collapsed a network of 1.6 million people by not critically thinking. If there weren't screenshots floating around you'd almost think it was an inside job or an elaborate attempt to undermine the movement, but nope. This was just a moderator way out of their depth. One common theme across Reddit is people who think the ability to critique something means you have the ability to actually do that thing. I think it's funny, but not surprising, how the mods of the sub are trying to censor it. Lol, now it's privatized. I guess they really don't wanna work in modding the subreddit. I'm all for the movement of standing up to employers / businesses that treat their employees like shit. But Jesus Christ, you're going on national television, it takes like 3 minutes of work to make yourself look presentable. If the goal of the interviewee was to enforce the stereotype of a Reddit moderator, they did an excellent job. 3 minutes of what? 3 minutes of work. Whoosh there, buddy. Going a bit too far, aren't you? For those who have no idea what everyone is talking, here you go. https www.youtube.com. Here is the interview that took place. Watch then answer. Edit, r/antiwork has also officially set their community to private. They are getting so much backlash and cannot currently handle it. This day has really been a fall from grace for them, it seems. I don't think I can watch it, Lmao. I have a very strong cringe reflex, and if it's as bad as everyone says, I think it will give me nightmares. It is. They went on looking like all a personification of what the right think Reddit users looked like, twitched a lot, and allowed the anchor to lead them around by the nose while they sounded moronic and lazy. It hurt to watch. I hate Fox with a passion, but I actually have to give that reporter props. He could have completely destroyed that guy, but he basically just asked softball questions and let the guy look completely stupid on his own. Never interrupt your enemy when they're making a mistake. Sun Tzu. Agree. I was waiting for the Fox guy to obliterate the dude, but he just kinda sat back and let him make a fool of himself and destroy every ounce of credibility of that sub and Reddit in general, with minimal effort. Honestly, I'm here for it. Reddit needs a little wake-up call on the superiority bullshit. Can't even clean up and get a decent shirt on for a real interview. How do you expect to get any respect on big-time news? Agree with them or not, Fox gave the dude a chance to speak on the movement and he blew it. Didn't even have anything prepared to say. I feel like a lot of Redditors misunderstand major news outlets like Fox or CNN. Are they biased and dumbed down for their audience? Yes, but the people who get those jobs in the first place are extremely good at what they do. CNN or Fox have the budget/resources and cannot take the risk with a B-level reporter or newscaster. What in the actual fuck? Did that guy she edited to recognize her pronoun ever read the posts and comments on the sub? This was a fucking prime question. Fox, no one is forcing you to work. You apply and accept the terms of employment. Reddit, I don't know about you, Jesse, but I like to be able to afford things like food and housing and healthcare, and without a job it's really hard to pay for those things. So in essence, we are forced to work to pay for necessary goods and services. Most terms of employment favor the employer and put the employee at a significant disadvantage in the form of healthcare tied to employment, PTO, overtime pay, unsafe working conditions, the insistence on office culture, and stagnant wages with minimal growth. This is why we support universal healthcare, mandatory paid leave, increases in the minimum wage, reasonable and consistent pay raises, and reasonable corporate pay scales that reduce the extreme wealth gap between essential workers and C-suite executives. How fucking hard is that? I wrote that in 5 minutes. It doesn't matter what they ask you, you type out short statement and stick to it. Had something good brewing and one guy she fucks it all up. This is why you have your talking points beforehand and always pivot back to your key message. These people need media training. The follow-up was even easier to counter, and yet that ball was dropped too. Fox, sounds like people are just being lazy. No one is being lazy, in fact most have not stopped working, they are just walking away from bad situations in favor of new ones. The Great Resignation, as it's being called, is quite misleading in that we've also seen a record number of new hires. We're in a situation where employees actually have options for once and hence aren't willing to put up with less than they deserve. Tie for this I was lost lol. Setting it to private is so dumb, way worse than one ignorant interview. Just handing Fox News that win on a silver platter dumb. Edit, and now it's made BBC. All press is good press, right. Edit 2 cover with r/antiwork mod. Edit 3 the face of r/antiwork. Possibly the worst mainstream media appearance Reddit has ever had. It's certainly embarrassing, but https www.psos.com/news/world. I wonder where /u/Violet Acres has gone, speaking of mods. I dunno, misidentifying terrorists and sending witch hunts against the family of a missing college student competes with that spot. I think it made all of Reddit look bad actually. I enjoy wasting time on Reddit as much as the next person, but the impression this person put out there is exactly what I'd expect from Reddit. I'd honestly be surprised if there were an interview with a mod anywhere that came off positive. Things like this is why I will fight tooth and nail to obscure the fact I use this fucking website. Present yourself as a professional. Dress well, style your hair, have talking points prepared and don't get flustered. You're not talking to your base. You're talking to people who don't know or care about your issue. You've got to appear friendly and professional to get past their initial "oh, that's just a hippie" response. It's a very common mistake I see young activists make. As I like to say, clothes are costumes, costumes are symbols, and symbols have power. Edit, I see a lot of people misgendering the person who was interviewed. I understand they have she/her pronouns. When in doubt, use they. Edit #2, so many people clutching their pearls about having to respect a person's wishes and use a grammatically correct pronoun. Learn to play the game. You don't have to like it, you don't have to respect it, but if you try to ignore it and flout the rules, you're going to lose. They didn't even bother making their bed for the interview. It was all bad. Yeah, I don't even particularly believe in making beds, but WTF. Don't have your bed in frame at all, or make it military/hotel tight if your apartment is too small and you have no choice. Is Doreen's computer too old to blur the background? Talk about fulfilling the stereotype of a Reddit mod.